The Chord Qutest. I've only reviewed one other Chord product on this channel in its 5-year history. And it was the Mojo. And I was like, it's got a lot of power, but I'd probably spend less because it doesn't do enough that then everyone freak the fuck out. You know how much time he spent designing the... I don't care. This is going to be less a review of the Chord Qutest and more a overview of how this channel functions, because I think that's better. And when this video gets posted on Super Best Audio Friends or on HeadFi and everyone's freaking the fuck out, Zeos is terrible, he probably can't hear past 16,000 hertz and he's using his Amazon Basic cables. He could even possibly hear that. Not even DSD in there. So I'm going to calmly and respectfully review the Chord Qutest. And I'm going to talk about the wallpapers in the description, and we're going to move on. This is a $1,900 DAC. The most affordable standalone DAC Chord has ever put out. Now, welcome back to Zeos Platinum, by the way. It was sent to me by a user, by a patron. And he's like, have you heard the Chord Qutest? And I'm like, no, send it over. Sure. So it arrives, and this black metal box arrives, and it's very heavy. It's solid, you know, like cut it in 2 pieces and just, I don't know what it weighs, 3 pounds, 2.5 pounds. Like if I picked up a hamburger and it weighed as much as this weighs, I'd be fucking impressed. Welcome to Z Reviews, by the way. So made in Britain, handmade in Britain, except for the power supply, which is odd, which is made in China, but it has a Chord logo on it. So at least I believe they are strictly paying attention to what happens, because that should matter at least as much as most of the stuff in here. And if that's the one part they want to not make in Britain, I'm not going to judge them for it. I'm just saying if I'm paying $1,900 for something, anything, you might want to make that too. And that's another weird thing. A lot of companies don't make power supplies. There's like so many companies in China that make power supplies, and they just go there, make sure they meet the spec, and they save some bucks. So, aluminum brick. It's got 8 feet. 8! Because 4 is not enough to carry this girth. Here's your power plug, which is a micro USB. And it's only 2 amp. It's only a 2 amp 5 volt, or 2.1 amp 5 volt. So you could legitimately power it off something else if you want to get a linear USB power supply. It is the cheapest part of this whole package. It's just, look at it, it's the standard little wire, it's all stiff and And I made sure to use this always because it's Chord branded and put it in here. I want to try not to cut too many corners when I give this review. Now, you plug it in and it goes through a series of colorful lights. Ooh, it's like 2001: A Space Odyssey in there. Yes. Okay. It's got a 16-second startup sequence, by the way. And during that startup sequence, you can adjust the output voltage from 1 volt to 2 volt to 3 volts by pressing both buttons down. So unplug it, plug it in. You have 16 seconds to press both. It'll go red, green, blue. Blue is 3 volts. 3 volts is what I'm outputting. I'm doing that because I'm not just going to talk about how this is an amazing DAC and it brings out all the things I've never heard before in music. But it's an amazing DAC, but it isn't doing anything better than that Geshelli Labs for $200 does balanced into my $789. The way this is set up currently, powered off of its own power supply, fiber optic, which is the same fiber optic that's being split back there by a fiber optic, I guess it's called a fiber optic splitter. I was trying to think of a more fancy word for that, but already the list of things, he's not even using direct fiber optic, he's splitting the fiber optic signal, it's going to damage it. So the Geshelli Labs Enoch 2 is being fed with fiber optic, the same fiber optic is coming here. It only has 2 RCA outs, that's it. That's it. You get a USB in, you get an optical in. These can act as individual coaxial inputs, or since they are BNC, you can order the optional Hugo M scaler for just $5,000, and get the absolute most out of your Chord Qutest. So you know, that's the sort of where I am. And I started very small and poor, and I'm still relatively poor. I can afford to pay the rent. I have a cute cat. My car doesn't break down on the side of the highway. But there's this line where I have to sit back and say, okay, what bullshit are you feeding me? And I'm not saying that everything that they say about this isn't true. I'm just saying that I, with my new money ears, can't hear it. And I've sat here and I've fucking paid attention. And I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't have balanced out, so I've got to just run it single-ended. And of course, I'm using the fantastic Amazon Basics RCAs, which are $8, which I'm sure someone and somewhere on a forums is going to go, he can't possibly hear the difference through that. So we're just going to let that person yell. Going to the back of my 789, which someone else is going to say, that isn't a high enough end amp, Zeos. I don't care about the 0.00001 THD or how the fact that it's probably the cleanest amplifier on the market. We're not going to listen to that guy either. I'm using fiber optic and not USB because I don't deal with USB in any of these reviews, except for the topping D10 because it had only USB. And of course, I'm only listening to FLAC that's 44.1. I do have a 24-bit folder. There's a 58 songs that are 24-bit FLAC because I couldn't find them in 16. Now, with all that combined, all this terrible, I'm just doing a terrible job. I'm using cheap cables and, you know, bargain basement amplifiers and, you know, these pieces of shit. Who the fuck got these at Walmart in a bargain bin? You know, all these things that I'm using to test this. And I have the ability with the just to push a button and I could hear this DAC or that $200 DAC. It's $2,000 DAC, $200 DAC. And the voltage is real close. That one still is putting out more because it's balanced. So I have to adjust my brain to lower it, raise it. And the thing is, it's not like one sounds better. I can't fucking tell them apart. So maybe you should go to someone else's review just so I could tell you about how this has changed your lives. And I don't want to bash Chord because they are like, you go to CanJam and they are at every fucking booth with those weird looking, fancy, goddamn, made in Britain, beautiful. They are beautiful. I'm not going to deny that the fact that they have really pretty stuff. I mean, some of it looks weird as shit. Let's put it that way. Look at this thing. Let me see if we get a picture of this up. Where is it? The Dave, which is a weird name for something. Your mailman is named Dave. Look at that. It's got like a giant glass and it's all screwed in like it's on a submarine from the future. That's cool. How much that costs? It's like $10,000. What does the Dave cost? I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. I don't even want to know. You know what? We're done. We're done knowing things. If I were to ignore price and you told me it was whatever, it costs $300. Like, wow, what build quality for $300? And it sounds really good. It's right up there with all the other DACs I approve of. SU8s. I mean, I have, I'm not giving this shit because I mean, my VMV D1 over there, the SMSL, that's a $1,300 DAC, or at least it's a $1,000 DAC now. And in my review of that, I said, look, this is for people who just don't care if you can hear a slight difference. They just want to know they've got the best. And it's going to be the same with this. It's going to be the exact same with this. I can't hear a difference between this and that DAC. And I've been playing with the filters, so I might as well keep going on the review of this. This has 4 filter settings, so if you play music. Led Zeppelin, you want to stick with Led Zeppelin. This filter button goes from white to green to orange to red to white again. And I will tell you exactly what those are. Those are, scrolling over, incisive neutral. They use a lot of words that are new to the whole. Incisive neutral, which is designed for all who wish. Designed for all who wish to hear the full spectrum of audio, no matter what sample rate, etc. Then there's incisive neutral high frequency roll-off. Then there's warm, designed to introduce a little warmth to recordings. This filter will satisfy. This is a 16FS WTA1 filter only, and then warm high frequency roll-off, which is designed to introduce a little bit of warmth. All right, I'm just gonna go and I've switched through them, and if, like when on my SMSL, if I switch to those sound settings, it's like an EQ where it goes like crystal or it goes to tube, and you could actually hear a difference. It EQs it a little bit more than like not at all. And filters and the way it processes the data, I can't hear that either. On multiple headphones, I haven't, maybe there's a headphone on this wall or on that stand or in this world that I could hear the difference between the filters. I just don't have it here. Maybe there's a specific track that if I put it on the warm filter instead of the, incisive neutral, that I'd be able to actually pick it out. But I can't. And I'm really listening. And that's the problem. Again, I said this in my topping D30, which is a $120 DAC, by the way, that trying so hard like this to hear a difference between something or hear what's better is ruining music. It's ruining why I'm here. I want to smile while making these reviews. My job is fantastic. I listen to headphones, I listen to equipment. If it's good, if it's the right price, if it does things, I will tell you about it, you'll enjoy it. If it's a piece of shit or overpriced, I'll tell you that, and you'll enjoy just getting the knowledge. And then at the end of that, you stop, and then you just listen to music, right? And this is one of those reviews where I'm sitting here and it feels like I'm taking a fucking midterm and I forgot to study. You know when you get that question on the test and you're like, wait, when did they even cover this? Oh shit, was that the week I was sick? Oh God, I don't know how to do this. And I'm sitting here with this, and it feels like that. It feels like I'm listening for something that I didn't study for. And I'm just confused and afraid. I'm like, oh God, everyone's going to yell at me. I'm going to get this question wrong. I'm going to get a 0 on this test, and I'm going to fail, and I'm never going to get a job, and I'm never going to get the Ferrari I always wanted because I'm going to be working at the A&P for... It's a DAC. It's a relatively basic DAC. I like the fact you can select the voltage. That would be a unique feature, except the $200 Geshelli Labs Enoch 2 also does that, although it's a little bit more extreme on the Geshelli. It goes down to like a 1/4 volt, and then I don't actually know the numbers. I'm not going to fake them, but it has 3 gain settings, and this has 3 gain settings, and that's a good thing. You could also dim these LEDs, which oh, spoiler alert. So anyway, you got like the LED in there that tells you the current bit rate of the song or the current kilohertz, and then these change colors based on what input you're on. I don't know why red isn't optical, by the way. People at Chord, I'm sure someone at Chord's going to watch this, and I apologize for taking, I'm sure every review of this thing is fantastic, and I'm just sitting here going, this is expensive, and I don't know why. I mean, I know it's made in England, and it's handmade, and it's, a lot of effort went into it, but it all comes down to me putting on, headphones and listening, and that's all this channel does. This channel doesn't care how long you worked in it. This channel doesn't care how many children died in the factory during the explosion to make this happen. I just want to know it's worth its cost. And that's a hard thing to get into the real audiophile shit and have someone go, yes, this is absolutely worth $1,900. Absolutely, no questions asked. $1,900. If someone clips, what if they took just that part right there and they put it on like a GIF form on their website, and that was absolutely worth $1,900? See reviews. Completely out of context. I have sad news. For those of you who saw my Chord Moho review, one of the things I really liked was the fact that they went out with like a design in mind, and these were glass marbles that you could actually roll around, and then there was buttons underneath it. That was a cool idea. And they call them control spheres in the manual, but they're not I don't think they're glass anymore. I'm pretty sure that's plastic. And B, they're not a sphere. You can't roll it. It's just a fixed button. So I don't even get to play with glass marbles now for $1,900. That was like the one design thing that I was like, wow, that's cool. And I'm pretty sure I know that they fixed that. They fixed that because dirty finger touches glass, glass rolls, dirt goes underneath, clogs up button, probably gets disgusting, you can't clean it. I'm sure that was the reason. It could also probably be like they saved $8 by not putting these as glass marbles. I don't know. This feel. If I'm spending anything over $1,000 on a DAC, it better come with more than just a silk sack. Which, by the way, this comes with a silk sack, a raw silk sack. So you don't even get to roll marbles. Those are just buttons, plastic fucking buttons. And I'm just like, But you do get a magnifying glass, which has no light on currently because. Did I anger it? Oh. Yeah, why is it red for one of the coaxials and not red for optical? Optical's always red. Optical literally has a red light in it. It would indicate it perfectly. Let's put it back on the neutral filter. Incisive neutral. And I could just do this. And it's a little bit louder. I could lower it a little bit. Listening to a $200 DAC. Listening to a $2,000 DAC. Listening to a $200 DAC. Listening to a $2,000 DAC. And really what matters the most is the fact that the headphones are fucking amazing. The amp is great. Don't get me wrong. $789. Anyone who says bad things about the $789, even though it's not a true balanced DAC, I'm aware of the fact that the volume knob is a stereo volume pot and it goes from balanced input to stereo and then back to a balanced setup for the amps. Don't know why they did that. Saved money, perhaps, but I tried this on a couple other... I mean, it's not balanced anyway. The fact that it's $1,900 and it's not even balanced, like you don't even give me a balanced DAC. And I know there's arguments, Benchmark, the company Benchmark, who is the Benchmark, they're the Benchmark, have come out loud and proud that balance is bullshit. Like balanced connections. I know balanced connections can be bullshit, but if you're doing something like this sort of high end, you better cater to all the crazy audiophiles, not just a few of them. It's just, can you feel my, like, I wish I played this and I heard a legit difference and I was like, wow, there it is. There's soundstage and detail that I didn't hear in my headphones through just, the lower end stuff, and I can give these actually like a prominently great review, but I can't. I haven't heard it. I have not heard it. I've been sitting here for days and I haven't heard it. So we're going to, we're just going to nod in its general direction. We're going to say Qutest. Qutest? Right? Get it? Anime's cute. And we're just going to move on with our lives, all of us. So all the people on all the forums who are watching this, the forums that I don't see in the YouTube comments. YouTube comments are going to be all my fans, and they're going to be mostly positive. But the ones in there who actually step away from the forums to be detractors in the comments, please do not bash them, normal users. I want to know who has this or any sort of like high-end $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 DAC amp and has actually done A/B testing. Because that's the thing. Once you have the ability to push a button and go from something that's $2,000 to $200 to $2,000, and you can sit there with $3,000 world-class headphones or really resolving ones or really fun ones, and you can tell a difference instantly. And not just like, well, my house in Spain has this setup, and then my house in Australia has this setup. And when I go to Spain, I can definitely tell that, no, instant, fast, go, this, that. Plug a measurement rig into it. I don't care how clean it is. If you're telling me it's going to improve things, how? Because there should be numbers involved. Not just cleanliness. Cleanliness is fantastic. Is it cleaner than anything else in like 1/10 the price range that I'm definitely going to hear the difference? Because I can't. Anyway, Thank you to the person who loaned me this. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. With lower the LEDs to push the both buttons, it dims them. That's literally all I have to say about it. About this channel. This channel does not bow down to very expensive things unless they're worth it. I haven't filmed the review of these yet. And these are the most worth it $3,000 headphones because they put the effort into it and they pull it off. And I'm sure there was a lot of effort put into this. A lot. But if I can't hear it, anyway, thank you for stopping by. This has been Z Reviews. If you'd like to check out the Patreon, which I'm sure no one who can afford the Patreon is now going to check that out, but you can anyway, to see these reviews slightly early, or to ask me questions directly, or call me an asshole to my face. The $5 tier will get you that responsibility, or that ability. Things will be in yard sales in the $5 tier. Anything lined up there, cheaper headphones, any DACs, amps, portable players I buy, or companies send me that I don't need, they get sold from the 1st to the 10th of every month. And you could usually get them for a grave discount, and I ship for free. I ship for free to the US, and if you're international, I will ship you anything that's in the yard sale can be shipped internationally if you agree to pay half the shipping. So, a lot of times, places that don't get an item can through the Patreon. If you want to really lay into me and tell me I'm a complete waste of fucking air and I should get off the planet, $10 a month gets you into a private Telegram chat where you can vent your angers towards me and about 150 other, well, they're actually really nice guys that, you know, hang out. There's 2 women in there, I think. 2 women in the $10 chat. So if you want to join them in bashing things, whether it's me or this or expensive cables or cheap cables, you'll feel free to do so there. And I will see you all tomorrow. Wallpaper is available in the description, and I'll link to these cheap fucking Amazon Basics cables. They're garbage. Probably the reason why I can't hear a difference. Honestly, it's just that's what it is. I need to spend like $700-800 per RCA, and then it would be just clear as day. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. This has been Z Reviews.